99% of men don't know this, but women get very excited. So, guys, I enjoy telling you the truth about what women actually want, as opposed to what they say they want. Even though this can be difficult to hear at times, don't worry, I take it in stride. You've heard the old adage about never taking advice from a fish, right? Okay, here's the thing, I'm speaking directly to men. So pay attention, because I have some valuable tips for you, but first, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any content. Let's get started. Let me tell you a story that will help you understand something that many men struggle with: how to establish an emotional connection with a woman before even thinking about entering the bedroom. Consider that you're playing a puzzle game. To complete the picture, you must put together the correct pieces. In the dating world, these pieces are the emotions and connections you form with the other person. So, before you say, "But she's just not interested," let me explain a little further. Everyone experiences emotional connection differently. Many men believe it is only about cute romantic things, such as a fairy tale movie with rainbows and unicorns. And, while that is one method for establishing an emotional connection, many men are unaware of another. Desire and attraction can serve as foundations for emotional connection. Let me tell you about a client of mine named Susan. Susan met a guy named David at a party. They began talking, and she immediately felt a strong connection with him. It was not because he was wealthy or made extravagant promises. It was because David managed to make Susan feel special, safe, and slightly cheeky. He made her laugh with jokes, told her stories that made her dream, and looked at her in ways that made her shiver. They eventually formed an unspoken bond. Susan later told me, "I'm not sure why, but I felt so connected to him in that moment. And it wasn't because of money. I work with wealthy men who are unable to connect, because money cannot buy everything." A woman can form many different connections with a man, one of which could be that you made her feel special. It could be a tingle, a feeling of security, or even naughty thoughts. When you can do that, she lowers her guard and feels vulnerable, but in a good way. The connection is what makes all the difference. So, the next time you're considering how to make an emotional connection, remember David and Susan. It's not about being perfect or making a lot of money. It matters how you make the other person feel. Make them laugh, feel safe, special, and perhaps even a little cheeky. That is what makes a real connection. Are you ready to build a stronger connection from now on? So click like and let's get started. Allow me to tell you something. For a woman, simply discussing sex can be very exciting. When we talk about it, our imaginations begin to run wild, with ideas of things we could do together. Our interest begins to peak before you even realize it. Imagine we're having a conversation and you're telling me what you want to do or asking me about new things to try. What's the most unusual place I'd like to have sex? Maybe somewhere where I'm afraid of being caught. That already makes the conversation very interesting. There are studies that show that when a man hears the word sex, he thinks about it for several hours. This is because of testosterone, which makes you the initiator most of the time. But here's where I see a lot of men going wrong. They don't know how to have this conversation. They're too direct and explicit too soon, and that can be scary for a woman, like receiving an unwanted photo. Luckily, this has only happened to me once, but once is too much. So, the key is to be more subtle and understand that women like to build this connection little by little. Making the conversation fun and exciting, without being too explicit right away, is the right way to go. What do you find most difficult about understanding women? Write it down in the comments, and I'll respond one by one, assisting everyone who comments. I will tell you a story to demonstrate the importance of knowing how to pace yourself in a relationship. I once dated a really handsome guy. We were having our first dates and getting to know each other better. Suddenly, he sent me a link to a lingerie website full of dominatrix and submissive items such as necklaces and chains. He even claimed he had already created a shopping cart for me. Oh, could he take me out to dinner first? Maybe start with, "Hello, how are you? I'm thinking of you right now." That wasn't very appealing. In fact, he was conveying the message that you are nothing more than a piece of meat, and I intend to treat you badly. No offense to women who prefer that. You guys rock. But most girls prefer a little more preparation. How could he have done things differently and still piqued my interest? He could have started the conversation by saying, "Hey, I was thinking about your favorite color and saw something you might like. I can't wait to show it to you the next time we meet." That creates mystery and intrigue, and I'd probably be curious for the rest of the day to find out what it was. According to Emily Nagoski, a sex researcher, women must clearly perceive a situation as erotic in order to be turned on, whereas men have an on-off switch. For us, it's a slow process. He could have even taken a photo of a portion of the gift and played a little game with me, such as, "Hey, guess what this is?" Women enjoy those games. It evokes mystery, intrigue, and desire. And now I'd be using my imagination, wondering, "Oh my God, what is he sending me?" He could have said, "I'll show you when we see each other." That's how he might have handled it. Pace, mystery, intrigue, all the things that make a woman want more. So, if you want to connect with a woman on this level, subtlety and innuendo are your friends. It's much more appealing to hint at something sexual and make us imagine something dirty in our minds than to be too obvious. Here are some examples of how to tease and lead the conversation. If she compliments you on your shirt or gives you a sideways glance, you can make it more interesting. "Are you flirting with me right now? Calm down. We are in public. Wait until we arrive home." Or, "I knew you had a naughty side waiting to emerge." Asking questions that are slightly sexual but not completely explicit, such as her favorite position. Again, men have the on-off switch. And once it's turned on, you're ready to go while we get started. But have you ever skinny dipped? Or, what are your thoughts on public displays of affection? Where would you consider having sex if no one was around? These all help to set the tone without being overly direct. Remember that creating this connection is a process, similar to putting together a puzzle. Each piece is necessary to complete a beautiful picture. Imagine you're talking to someone and asking questions and sharing stories to gradually build trust and interest between you. Every word you say, every detail you share contributes to the development of this unique connection. And if she begins to actively participate in the conversation, it is clear that she is relaxed and interested. I'm not just talking about sex, but how her acceptance and participation indicate that there is a growing attraction. Want proof of this? Pick up a romance novel aimed at women. It will be the best $5 investment you ever make. These books are popular because they use words to spark our imaginations. It begins slowly with small gestures and conversations, and the tension gradually builds, with subtle hints and teases. As the story progresses, the sensuality becomes more explicit, until the tension explodes into intense scenes. This is how women react and fantasize about meeting someone special. For us, excitement is created through words and imagination. This gradual buildup ensures that when things finally heat up, everything is even more exciting and meaningful. This is how many women dream of meeting someone special. They respond to the small details, the words and gestures that gradually build excitement. Let's think about pornography. These videos are frequently targeted toward men. In many of them, the story begins with little conversation. Two characters, such as a secretary and a businessman, exchange only a few words before engaging in an intimate scene. This is because men in general connect and are aroused in a different, more direct manner. So, when you're trying to make an emotional connection with a woman, keep in mind that the little things matter. It's the conversations, the subtle innuendos, and the way you gradually make her feel special. It is not necessary to be direct or explicit right away, but rather to gradually build the tension. This makes her imagination work for you, resulting in a deep and meaningful connection. So, I hope you enjoyed these tips on how to make an emotional connection in a subtle yet powerful way. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to ensure you don't miss any future updates. In the next video, we'll go even deeper, discussing incredible techniques for winning a woman's heart in an authentic and lasting way. You won't want to miss this. Leave a like, comment with your thoughts, and share with your friends. See you next time.